Hey guys, it's your boy Deeper. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing well, and today we are back with some more Arena Breakout Infinite content. Guys, this game is absolutely exploding on Steam at the moment. We've officially hit 50,000 concurrent players, which is absolutely wild. It's definitely up there with like some of the popular games at the moment. And with all of this new influx of players, plus, all the changes that we've done with the current season, I thought, hey, maybe now it's as good a time as any to bring out a weapon tier list. So if you guys are new to the game, this will be very useful for you, so you can gauge how good some weapons are and which ones to sort of use, which ones to avoid. I'll give you my stats first and foremost, just so you know. So I have about 1,125 hours in this game. I'm about 96.4 combat there. I'm sitting at 1.1 billion there, or actually much higher than 1 billion because I haven't sold any of my reds here. But just to give you an idea, right? So I've played a fair bit with this game. I know which weapons work at this point, which weapons don't work at this point. So without further ado, let's get cracking. But guys, please don't forget, if you do enjoy the content, you want to see some more of this, please don't forget to hit that sub button. Now, back to the tier list at hand. We'll be using a tier list maker, which is going to be this one here. And we'll be going in alphabetical orders from assault rifles, submachine guns, etc, etc. Do note one thing though, if the weapons are bad or trash, I will not be spending too much time on them. There's a lot of weapons to get through and not enough time. So I do apologize if some of these do feel a little bit rushed, but I'm only going to focus on the ones that are really, really good to use. The ones that you should completely avoid, I'm not going to bother with them because either they've been either outdated, power crap by new weapons, or they're just outright horrendous, right? So without further ado, we'll start with the AKM. AKM, very versatile gun. It has a lot of attachments for it. You can put AR stocks on it. It's just not a bad looking gun. It's got tons of different skins for it, but it does have one glaring issue, and that's the medium firing power. So guys, I'll explain this once. Medium firing power, it's a damage modifier. So if the bullet doesn't pen, it sort of depends how much damage it will do. So if it's medium, it'll do less damage. If it's high firing power, it'll do more damage. If it's slow, it's going to do the least amount of damage, right? And also the fact it's only got 600 RPM, it's kind of wild. They've buffed the recoil on it. It's got 80 horizontal, 75 vertical, but it's just still not a usable. I mean, it's not a competitive weapon. It's a usable weapon, but it's not a competitive weapon. The ammo for it, it's kind of overpriced at the moment. If you look at APs, they go up to 7,500. BPs, which is T4 ammo, goes up to 3,000. So while it is a versatile weapon, it is not a competitive weapon. I cannot give it a strong rating as such. Look, it is, I would say it's between bad and good value. So I'm just gonna go with bad because there's just much better weapons that are in that class that you should be using over this particular weapon. Okay, all right, so AKM, I'm gonna put it as bad, guys. Like, there's much better options, which we'll get to shortly. All right, back to gunsmith M4. This is one of the most versatile weapons. Very good value for money. You can kit one of these out and bring it into Forbidden for as much as 300k now. So this is a close to a meta M4. Like, anything above these stats, it's kind of pointless and will cost you a lot more money. Crazy good build, crazy good weapon, high firing power, very good rate of fire, very good recoil control. It's just, and it also shoots like some of the cheapest ammo, T4 ammo you can currently buy on the market for 1.9. If you look at all the other T4 ammo, how much it's skyrocketed is freaking crazy. Like this one here, for example, just reset. Usually this goes for 2.5 now. If we look at 7.62 here, by 39, you're looking at 3k a bullet. So the fact that you have so many attachments for this, you don't even have to go for this build. Like, you have so many different builds to go for. It pretty much uses every attachment in the game. If you want to use the best grips, you can use the best grips. You want to change the barrels, it's got short barrels, medium barrel, depending on the occasion. Decent range for an AR. Like, I would say this is a very strong weapon. It's not a meta weapon. I mean, meta is reserved for the best of the best, but this is nonetheless a very strong weapon. I advise use it. I've done many videos on this. I run it on lockdown, I run it on forbidden. It's just great all around weapon that will not let you down. So if you're after a good AR, I recommend trying the M4A1. You don't really need to kit it out, you can go for cheaper builds. This weapon will do the job. Next up, we have the FAL. So a lot of you new players won't know this, but this in Season 0 was a god tier weapon. Now this weapon is absolute ass. It's gone down, it's been nerfed like 4 or 5 times, it's gone down so far down the pecking order. This used to be able to one tap to the head. Now the recoil is garbage. You can only use it at short range, at medium range it fails miserably, at long range it fails miserably. It's got decent attachments for it, but they just cook the weapon itself. That's why like you can pick it up for very cheap for 150, which is not much at all. But I really recommend you stay away from this weapon. There's much better alternatives for the caliber that it is. So guys, like, stay away from it. It is not useless, it's usable, but you're putting yourself at a mad disadvantage and you're just asking to die. Next up, we have a god tier weapon. Rumors on the horizon are this will get significantly nerfed. This is not a cheap weapon by any stretch of the imagination. It's the current meta. It is the strongest weapon in the game. You can kit one of these out for how much? 740k, and that's not fully maxed out. You can do better suppressor, you can do a better stock, but yeah, very expensive, very good. Absolute laser beam. This is your endgame weapon. It's meant to be an endgame weapon. It costs as much as an endgame weapon should cost. It's got cheap tier 4 ammo, so you can even run forbidden with tier 4 ammo. A lot of people now are doing it because the M995s are so freaking expensive. Great gun, but I would recommend you wait until you have like 100 million parachute or something before you even attempt to run one of these. Guys, note one thing, right? The difference between a short barrel and a long barrel HK, it's day and night. They're completely different guns. Like short barrel will be like low medium firing power, long barrel's high firing power, more range, more damage, 900 RPM. Like currently this is a god tier in the game. Nothing comes close to it. The AK used to come close to it, but that's been kind of nerfed now. And honestly, man, H4, it's currently in a league of its own, so this is what I would consider to be an S tier weapon. So H416, we grab it and put it in meta because it is head and shoulders above everything else. I'm not saying this is the only meta weapon, but this is head and shoulders above everything in this game. Next up, we have MDR. Great balanced weapon, shittier than the M4, but a lot cheaper than the M4. You can kit one of these out decently. So let me just show you. So you can kit them out decently for about what, 149k. The mags are expensive, the 60 round mags for it. It's got kind of funky horizontal recoil, that's where it goes down. But if you're someone that wants to run on a budget, this is a very good versatile weapon. Therefore, I would say it's good value. Definitely good value for money. So we are going to get the MDR and we're going to put it at good value. So if you need that weapon and you have a bit of gear fear, you're not sure what to run, go for the MDR. It will not let you down. Next up, we have a shitter version of the MDR. It's the AK-102. What can I say about this weapon? Medium firing power, 600 RPM, garbage range, like 50 range, and it costs 244k to max it out. Stay away from it, guys. This is not a good value weapon. It is a bad weapon. It's fallen behind the rest of the pack. It just does not perform, and you wasting money on it will only work against you. So stay away from it. This is not a good weapon at all. AK-74N, same as the AK-102. It suffers from the same problem. Not to mention the fact that there's a lot of weapons that are better in class. So while it is cheap, 122k, it can perform medium firing power, 550 RPM. So it used to be higher. They nerfed it. 42 effective range. It used to be a good weapon. It used to be a very good budget weapon, but now they just pretty much killed it. So stay away from that as well. Next up, we have potentially the most useless weapon in the game. Low firing power, low rate of fire, SMG effective range, crazy bad recoil, even if you were to max this out, like it is absolute poop. Like this is garbage weapon. Just stay away from it. Do yourself a favor. Like avoid it like the plague. I don't even know why this weapon is in the game. I've been asking the devs to buff it, so it's kind of like the MCX version, but for the AKs, it has that potential, but just has not lived up to it yet, unfortunately. Next up, we have the AUG. So the AUG is a great weapon. It's a very, very good weapon. Don't let the stats here fool you. It does not have many attachments for it, so there's not much you can do with it. You can only run a 40 mag, which is pretty expensive at the moment. So a 40 mag for this will set you back, how much is it? 37k, which is close to a 60 mag for the M4. Costs as much as an M4, if not more than an M4, but is nowhere near as good as an M4. Like nowhere near as good as an M4. It's a good gun, great gun, but I would not say this is it's just, how do I word this? It's strong, but it's not good value, but it's not bad, so I just have to put it behind the MDR. Like I feel at the moment like it's overpriced for what it is. Next up, we have the F2000. This is what we call a poor man's H4. You can kit it out for like, how much is it? 280k. It'll shred more close range than the M4. Mid-high firing power. Don't let this recoil stats fool you. The recoil on it is a bit funky now because it did get nerfed. Like at the price range, it wasn't that far behind the H4. Now it is far behind the H4, but it's also like a third of the price. You can you can trade for this weapon and get it really cheap. So I do recommend you try it. It is a look at that. So I do own some of the components, but you can pick it up for like 120k, I think. So very, very strong weapon. I would highly advise you give it a go. It's at a good price point. It does have 50 or 60 mag. I think they're 50 mags. So good price point, very good value, and it's strong. So do give it a go. It is a great weapon. All right. And next up, we have the AR-57. This used to be meta in Season 0 and Season 1. It has fallen behind the bunch a little bit now. It does cost a little bit to get kitted out decently. And I think for the price that you're spending for this, given that P90 now, it's in the game, like fully customizable, and it's better, you should not be using this. You can get a cheap one, but the ammo that it shoots is expensive. So you want to make sure that you shoot through the best platform, right? We'll get to the P90 later, but if we look at the range of this, it does, yes, it has more range than the P90. It does. How much does P90 have? You can put a long barrel on this. And with the long barrel, I think it's like 37 range or something. 36, so if we do go for a long barrel, how much range do we get? 40 range. So it does have about 11 less range, but it is by far the superior weapon. Once again, it's an AR platform, highly customizable, good ammo. You can trade for it cheap. It is a strong weapon, but it is not any longer a meta weapon, but it is very, very strong. So we're gonna put it in the strong category. Cool. Next up, we have the ACE-31. So don't run an AKM platform, run the ACE. The ACE comes very, very nice with some good attachments, and it does not cost an arm and a leg for 200k. I think this is the only platform aside from the SKS that has a high firing power that shoots 7.62s. So 650 RPM, not the greatest. Funky recoil, it does have very, very strong recoil, but it does perform up close to medium range. Shoots some of the best ammo in the game. And this is a very, very strong weapon. It's definitely a good platform. So ACE-31, where is the ACE-31? Here we go. So ACE-31 is definitely strong. If you haven't noticed by now, ARs do dominate this game. So AK, it is a crazy good weapon. It is, however, pricey, so 400k. It's half the price of a H4, but it did get slightly nerfed. However, it is still the meta. It shoots some of the best ammo in the game, and good RPM. like, it's almost got like an M4 recoil. It did get nerfed a little bit. And medium firing power is not as noticeable because you're shooting big ass caliber. So this is still meta, but it is not as good as the H4. Like, it's just not. It is good, but it's not as good as the H4. So we'll leave that as meta there. Next up, we have the AN-94. Guys, if you haven't already tried this weapon, try it. Let me show you something. Before I review this weapon, I need to show you something. So it's got a busted mechanic. So the first shot of the gun fires twice. And you don't even feel like it just fires twice. Watch this. See, 2 bullets. If you hold the gun, right? If you hold it, the first bullet will be shot twice. The rest is just gonna be one shot. But if you like, if you tap it, every time you tap it, it will shoot 2 bullets. Crazy, right? So super strong. Sometimes when they pick you, you just tap them in the head and automatically deletes them. So very strong weapon. Is it meta? It is not meta. Unfortunately, it is not meta, but it is super strong. Like, super strong. Shoots some really good ammo, which is like BP and BS ammo. Lately, it's gone up in price. So super strong, super solid, but it's not quite meta because you have to tap it. But it is a demon. It is an absolute demon when it comes to like picking corners and stuff. Super strong. So AN, where is the AN, ladies and gentlemen? AN-94. All right, so AN-94 will go in very strong category. I believe it is better than the M4 in its current state, but it's not quite meta yet, unfortunately. But nonetheless, very strong weapon. Okay, where do we get up to? Next up, we have the Scar. The problem with this is highly customizable, which is good. You can get up to high firing power. It's got decent range, but even with like a super long barrel, what's the range on it? 48 effective range. Very shitty rate of fire though, and it can be very expensive to customize as well, like an M4. So you might as well use the M4. Like, there's nothing at the moment that justifies this weapon. It's just not where it should be. It doesn't perform at the price point, which is a problem. Yes, it has a lot of attachments. Yes, it shoots like some of the most widely available ammo in the game, but it's just not there. Like, this is more like a scav weapon or like a quick kit weapon. Next up is one of my personal favorites, the T951. This weapon, you can kit it out at a decent price, and I'm telling you, it claps if you've not tried this weapon. High firing power, 650 rate of fire, and shoots a freak of a caliber. Like, the caliber that this weapon shoots is just a freak round. Like, you can, like, M855A1 will not one-tap T4 helmet. This will one-tap T4 helmet. Like, it has the power to one-tap, which is kind of wild. The weapon itself, like, this is almost maxed out. This is how I run it, and I've made a video on this. You can make it for like, what is that, 145k, 145k, and you can compete on lockdown, you can compete on forbidden. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not as good as the H4, but holy moly, does this weapon like fire above its fucking price point. Like, it is insanely good. It's not quite meta, but it is stupid powerful, like stupid powerful. So I would even put it above the AN-94, not in terms of lethality, but like in terms of availability, how widely available the ammo is, how cheap the T5 ammo is. So if you look at the T5 ammo here, it's like 4k, 4.3k, and it's much better round than the 995. It's almost on par with an M62 round. Crazy good. All right, we are up to, I believe, the TO3, which is the better version of this, but of course it is a little bit more expensive. I run this with a thermal. This is my thermal go-to weapon. It is strong. Like, it is bloody strong. This weapon will perform, guys. Like 86, 62, no suppression high, mid-high firing power, 700 RPM, so 50 more than the other weapon. It is a very, very, very powerful weapon. Very powerful. You can get it. So the new attachment gives you extra horizontal. Horizontal is where this weapon is like, it lets you down a little bit. With the new attachments, this thing will absolutely plow through your enemies. Give it a go. It is a very, very strong weapon. Once again, costs more than the T951. So I wouldn't say, so from a cost point, if you're running budget, go for T951. If you have more money, go for the T03. That's why I'm only gonna put it behind the T951 for that one reason, because it's priced in the T951 and the T951 exists in the same category. So that is why I wouldn't score it as high as the T951. SG550, this is a scav weapon, low firing power, garbage range. Stay away from it, guys. I don't know why they did the Commando dirty. They should have made it a niche gun, like a gun that can actually perform, just make it expensive. Instead, they just fucked it completely. My apologies, it is 1 AM here and I'm doing this video for you guys, so I do apologize for the yawn there. Very unprofessional of me, but it's only human. So where is this absolutely trash weapon? I don't even think this thing is like even worth putting on the freaking tier list, man. It is useless. Like, don't go for it. It's better than the AK-74 though. It's better, but it's, you know what? It's actually, you can at least kill someone with this. So I'll just put it as bad. You can at least kill someone with it. The AK-74U is just useless. Like, it's horrendous. It is absolutely horrendous. G3, cheap platform. You can kit it out cheap. It's got 180k to max it out completely. Garbage effective range, unfortunately, even with like a extended barrel, for like the size of the barrel, the size of the gun, the weight of the gun, the caliber that it shoots, very, very underwhelming. Like, it's a fun gun, but it's not a competitive weapon. No one uses it. When the last season released, people tried it for a little bit, but it's not, it's usable, but you wouldn't put red ammo in it. Like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Next up, we have the AK-12, one of my personal favorites. So this could be a meta weapon, right? It's not as good as the other weapons, but it's very versatile and shoots BS ammo, and it's got the best recoil pattern in the game. The way this weapon fires has the best recoil pattern in the game. Crazy easy to tap, best tapping weapon if you want to tap it. Crazy good recoil control. I'll put it as meta, but it's not as good as these two weapons. I wouldn't say it's far behind, but it's not as good as them. Like, it's noticeably not as good as them. But meta weapon, it can cost a little bit to kit out though. So if you want to like max it out completely, you're looking at like a pretty penny, 376. So what you pay though is what you get, and with this weapon, you definitely get something good. Next up, we have the MCX. So I was running this today. It's very fun. It's got no recoil, garbage range, medium firing power, 700 RPM, should have been like 800 RPM to compensate for the range, but it's not. So it's a good value weapon. You can kit it out very cheaply. So you can kit it out like this and it'll cost you like what, 150k. So it's good at the price point, performs for the price point. It's fun and compact. You can clean rooms with it, but it is not obviously as good as the other weapons in this category. Therefore, let's find the MCX here. MCX. I don't even think they got a, oh, there it is. So we'll just put it as good value because it is good value. I would say it's even better value than the AUG. It's not as strong as the AUG, but it's better value than the AUG. So we're gonna make sure we put it there. PCC9. No, man, where do I even begin this? Good concept, cool concept, but garbage ammo. So overpriced ammo. It does not have the. You can put like I think a long barrel on this, right? So you can go for a long barrel, and you get high firing power. But even with a high firing power, it doesn't really make much difference because it's only 600 RPM. So you can't even tap it fast anyway. It's just a bad weapon. It's not good value at all, like at all. So don't use it, guys. It's not gonna do you any good. Like, you're literally putting a handicap on yourself. by running this weapon. Do we have the PCC9? Do we have the PCC9? Nope, no PCC9, but it's bad. So we move. ZC807, I would say this is as good as the AK. It performs like the AK. It's got different attachments. It's got 57 effective range, 750 RPM medium firing power. So it is a little bit behind the AK, but you can get this recoil much more controllable than the AK, and it costs more or less the same money, to be completely honest with you guys. Oh, it's a little bit cheaper. So meta, definitely meta, usable. It's meta because of the ammo, not because of the firing power or the fire rate or anything like that. It's just because it claps cheeks the ammo that it uses. Very, very pricey though. Very, very pricey ammo. So therefore, the CZ807, which I don't think they have in this list either, is part of the meta. Guys, it's very hard to find a list that has all of the weapons, unfortunately. Yeah, they don't have the CZ. That means mobile phone doesn't have CZ either. But that is definitely a meta. Definitely meta. Which is a shame, but yeah. I'll put it just behind the AK there. I mean, they maybe even in front of the AK because of the performance, which makes it great. So MP5, guys, budget option, highly customizable, very good value for money. Like you get it from Quick Kits, you get it from like Killing Scavs. So widely available, highly customizable, good value for money. MPX is definitely the meta in this category. It's supposed to be your high-end rifle. It's supposed to perform like a high-end rifle. So how much is for one of these? It's about 338. So pretty expensive, but high firing power, 850 RPM, which is just 50 behind the HK. So this is like the HK of submachine guns. Very good effective range for submachine gun. It's definitely up there, but it's not meta. Like it's very strong, and unfortunately goes up to T4 ammo, which is another reason why I cannot make it meta, because it doesn't compete with the H4s. If it comes against the H4, it's gonna get absolutely deleted. But it is strong. It is very, very strong, but it's also very, very pricey. Now let's talk about P90. This is the new kid on the block. It is freaking strong now. Like this gun now, it is very, very strong. Why? Because you can do this, and 92 with 96 recoil, it doesn't move. It's a laser beam. It was a laser beam to begin with, 1000 RPM, mid-low firing power, 36 effective range. You can put a long barrel for 40 effective range. This thing, up close, it will beat a H4, but the H4 is more versatile. So I would say this is the second strongest weapon in the game at the moment. It is an absolute beast. But up close, it will beat the H4. Just it's got more fire rate on it, and it is super duper strong. So Uzi, AMP, Mac 10, M31, T79. So Uzi, Mac 10, they're just bad. Like they were okay in season 0, but they've just fallen behind. Hard times, they're not where they should be, so that needs to go there. QC as well needs to go there. The QC is a good gun, it's just the ammo that lets it down. Same with the MP40, same with the T85, same with the MPF 45, same with the T79. Like what lets these guns down is the fact that the power creep from the new weapons have really let them behind in dust. Like they cannot compete, and that's just the reality of it. They cannot compete. So back here, we've done all of these. Brings us to the Vector 45. Great gun. This is a great gun. Meta, like when it comes to like leg meta, it is strong. 1100 RPM to the legs, absolutely deletes. However, the ammo lets it down. So you either run leg meta or you don't. It only goes up to purple ammo. It is good value, especially for rats. It claps cheeks. Same with the Vector 9. It is very good value. They're cheap to customize. You can build one up for like half the price of an MPX. Strong, once again, only goes up to like what's it called, T4 ammo. So it can be very useful. I've seen like people on the shouting Discord, like Brady, I've seen him like delete T6s with it, but you're doing yourself a disservice if you run this over the the P90 or even the MPX. And next up we have the new kit on the block. This is a very highly customizable rifle and costs a lot less. Sorry, submachine gun rifle costs a lot less than the MPX, like a lot less than the MPX. It's got a little bit less, so 100 less RPM. It's got mid-high firing power, so it's not exactly high firing power. It only has 2 barrels, which is, the long one is what you want, but obviously it's not as good as the MPX, but it's still very, very strong. I like how they buffed these submachine guns this season. It is definitely a very strong gun. I just don't think they have it here. For some reason, it's not on mobile, but I'll definitely put it up as strong, because it is very, very strong. Cool. And that brings us the end of the submachine guns. Then we have carbines. SA58, SKS, like these are once again very bad weapons because they've been crept up by other powerful weapons in the game. And when they were relevant in Season 0, now they fall behind because now the meta is high RPM, high firing power. While some of these weapons do have high firing power, they're not accurate, they're very high recoil. Like, this is garbage. Mid-low firing power, mid-high firing power, mid-high. Like, these are just trash weapons. They've really, so all the way up until here, they're horrible. Especially this M96. This one here, it is the most useless weapon in the game after the AK-74U. I would not use it. However, that brings us to the SVTU. They've tried to nerf this weapon so many times and it's still meta. It one-taps from miles away despite only having 66 effective range. That's because it shoots T7 ammo. Super cheap to make. This is a very, very strong weapon and this is a meta weapon because it's dirt cheap and you can delete with one bullet, like a $3 million kit, T6 kit. It is that good, guys. It is that good. Next up, it's my personal favorite, so I put my channel on the map, is the M16. This is a beautiful weapon. You don't really need to kit it out much. This one here is in my trophy room, that is why it's like kitted out the way it is. All you need to do to it is just this. So you need the long barrel for the high firing power and the extra damage. So guys, some barrels affect damage on the M4 and M16. The ARL barrel gives you like extra 2 damage per bullet, which is huge. It's got no recoil, you can tap it, and it's got 20 more range than normal assault rifle. So put this on single fire or burst and go ham and you'll absolutely delete people. Same price as an M4, maybe slightly cheaper. But yeah, I swear by this weapon. This is a very, very strong weapon. It does take some getting used to, but the range, the fact that you can 2-tap from range, whereas an M4 you have to like pretty much magnum someone, makes this weapon very, very strong. So where is the M16? Don't tell me they left out the M16 out of this. Here it is. Cool. So I'll put this as a strong weapon because you can make it work big time. Marksman rifle, SVDS, currently it's meta, you can 2-tap to the chest. It's not a cheap weapon though, so it can cost you like a fair bit to kit out, as you can see. And you know what, it reflects on the price range because it is meta. You can 1-tap, good range, good firing power, and it's got good where is it? Let me just find it again. So marksman rifles. So we got high firing power, 225 RPM, which is semi-automatic, but it costs 4 times the SVTU and not that much more RPM. Therefore, stick with the SVTU. Is the much cheaper option there. But nonetheless, it is definitely meta. VSS. Look at the effect, 26 effective range and absolutely insane recoil. Stay away from this gun. It is bad. It is a bad gun. It's not a useless gun. It has some of the best ammo for it. But this is a very, very bad weapon. Like, they need to do something. They need to optimize it. Like, they've been trying to buff it a couple of seasons in a row now, and it does absolutely nothing. Mark 14. This dominates on ABI mobile. On this game, unfortunately, is not as strong. It is definitely a very strong weapon, but it's not meta. Like, I thought this is going to be god tier weapon. While it is very strong, it is not. It's not meta. You can. The best thing about this is you can run with M80s. M80s are very good ammo. But if you want this to be competitive with H4s and stuff, you need to be running M61s, and you can no longer buy M61s on the market. But you can get M62s on the market, but they're like 17,000 a pop. So it's up to you whether you think that is useful or not. So yeah, very strong, but the price point just does not justify it. Next up, we have the M110 here. Crazy good weapon. You don't really need to kit out much on this. You can make it for like 137k. You can put a scope on it. All it needs is some red ammo in 1 taps to the head, 3 taps to the chest. Still meta. Like, they try to nerf this gun so many times. It is definitely still the meta weapon. I wouldn't recommend running with M80s though, because the TTK at the moment, but with red ammo, this thing absolutely slaps. Next up, we have a very fun weapon. Very fun weapon, but if you take this anywhere outside of normals, even with normals now that they put the limit up to 450, stay away from it. Like, unless you want to have some fun, stay away from it. It's just medium firing power, shoots pistol rounds, not enough distance. I cannot recommend this weapon to you. It is fun though. It is a fun weapon, but it's just not competitive. Do we have the ML here? ML. I don't think they have the ML. No, we don't. Okay, maybe they don't have it on mobile. It must be exclusive to ABI PC. Bolt actions. Mosin, crazy good value for money, but with the SVTU, I wouldn't recommend you run the Mosin, so therefore I'm just going to put the Mosin as good value. It has a new stock on it now. You can make it like super ergonomic, I believe. Where is it here? So you can make it better ergonomic, should I say, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. So stay away from Mosin. Well, it is good value, go for the SVTU. SJ, very expensive to run, chance to 1-tap T5 armor, but even then you're just downing him, you're not outright killing him. So it is very strong, but would I say it's meta when you have like a gun that can 1-tap like an SVDS and semi-automatic? It is not meta, but it is very super strong. It used to be meta when it was guaranteed to kill. Now there's a chance some T5 armors 80% of the time will shrug it off. I cannot put it as meta, but if you obviously hit your bullets to the head, you can kill. M24, however, it's better than the SJ. Why? Because much better ergonomics, like much better ergonomics. As you can see, it's got 74 ergos. This is like every tapper's dream. Put some M61s on it and off you go. Once again, very strong weapon. Cheaper to run, cheaper to customize. Still 1-taps to the head, so very strong for sure there. Next up, we have shotguns, guys. Unless you're running a USAS, shotguns are in a bad spot at the moment. The USAS used to be broken, but now I would say stay away from it. Very situational. They can be very strong in tight quarters, but if you go out in the open, you'll get absolutely melted. I would say the S12K is very good value for TV station, and so is the USAS. So is the USAS. I would even go as much as say the USAS is strong, but once again, very situational. But you can pepper your enemies. You were able to delete them at range. Not anymore, unfortunately. It's got nerfed a couple of times, but it's still extremely strong. Next up, we have the only light machine gun in the game. It still costs an arm and a leg to kit out. So if you put like a long barrel on it, and to make this somewhat competitive with the AK-12, you're still looking at what? Let's see, 337,000. But the recoil is where this weapon goes down. High firing power, I mean, that's great. 59 effective range, used to be 112 in Season 0. Yeah, it's great, 700 RPM, but the recoil pattern on it is absolutely disgusting. And therefore, this is a strong weapon, but it's not a meta weapon by any chance. It used to be meta weapon in Season 0. Now it's just strong, it's usable, but it's also very expensive for what it is. So use at your own peril. And last but not least, we got the pistols. I'm not going to get into too much. There's only 2 viable pistols to use at the moment. There is the Deagle because it's got the gold ammo, and also the 5.7 because it's got T5 ammo and no recoil. So you can keep one of these out for 67 and use it as a sidearm and perform admirably. And slightly weaker is the gold Deagle. So if I take the gold Deagle, I would say it's good value. And if I take the 5.7 pistol, from a pistol perspective, I would say this is a very, very strong. Then you also have the Glock 18, which can be good value if you run some dum-dums on it. Why? Because the Glock is 1,000 something. What is it? Where is it? 1,000 RPM. So not as good as the P90. P90 is probably the best leg meta out there. But if you're running a sniper, you can have this as a sidearm and it will perform with some dum-dums in it. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.